Okay, well, we've got a broken pipe I'm in the middle of repairing. And first thing you want to do is you want to dry fit. So you take a measurement. Okay, so that will go in there. I've already taken those measurements. Next, we will add an elbow because we're going down to this point here. Take this elbow, bring this elbow on. Okay. Now, it looks like... Okay, now the next step we can take is we put this 90 on here. Now we can see that they don't quite line up, which means I now have to come back and bring this back about where it's gonna fit. It's lining up. Okay, that's a little better. So actually, if I had a level, I could level up from the bottom to the top here on the outside edge. But since I don't have a level, I am going to have to eyeball this. And that looks like I'm pretty good about there. So now I have to mark. I'll show you the next step. Okay, you can see where I've marked this here. Alright, so I literally have had to take this, eyeball it, sight down. Alright, I've had to sight down this here. Okay, and then mark underneath to this point. Okay, then the next step, I'll cut it. Then when this slides on, I'll be right where I need to be. So that means if I'm at this point, okay, so I'm going to have to take off just a little bit from this front edge here, about a ½ inch off the front here, so that when I slide it on, it will be exactly where that needs to be sitting, about right there. It's about 3/8. Okay. Now, being that I'm dry fitting, you see, that's as far as that's going to go in. So I pull this out. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Sawzall and I'm going to cut it next. All right. Okay, as you see here, this piece I just cut lines up with the outer edge of the 90 down below. And when I put this other 90 on, you'll be able to see that it lines up real well. And if I was to put a level on this outer edge here, it would line up nicely. Here, I'll show you this for demonstration purposes. That looks pretty good, but the level's ultimately what you'd want to use here. Okay, so there you have that. Okay, the next phase I'll show you. Now with this lower pipe here, I've got two issues going on. One, it is leaking water. I've got a little bit of water drainage. So I'm going to do two things. One, I'm going to heat up the pipe. Then I'm going to take a couple of pieces of bread and I'm going to stuff it in the hole here, and that'll allow the time enough for the glue to dry. And then the bread will go through the pipes, open your faucets, let it drain on the other side. It'll run through it, and you have no issues. I've done this on a few occasions actually. So first thing I'm going to do is start heating up this pipe. Got a blow dryer. Okay, so I'm going to heat this pipe up. Get this pipe nice and warm, because it's cold out right now. It's not freezing out, but it's cold and damp enough right now to slow down the gluing time, and I need the gluing time sped up as much as possible so that I can get my water on. So while this is heating up, I will put you on standby. Okay, so while that's warming up, I'm going to make sure I break the edge inside here and sand this real good so that the glue has something to adhere to. So the slick surface does not want to bond as well. And if this system's under about 60, 70 pounds of pressure, you want a good clean, you want to make sure you really scuff that up on the inside on both. Always do your ends that you're gluing together, scuff them up for those that don't know. I can't hold this the camera and do that, so I just thought I'd give you a heads up. Okay, I'm going to get this good and clean. I've already done this once. Definitely want to get this really good here. Okay, all the way around it. Now, again, get this warmed up a little bit more. And move on to the next phase. Alright. Heating up this 90. It's going to go on. Okay. 90 heating up here.